This movie gets 3.5 bananas out of 5 according to the NoMoreStinkyMonkeys.com website. Could it be that after 30 plus years of watching Jewish people suffer as martyrs in the movies, that the 21st century will finally show Jewish people fighting back? I say this because in the movie Knocked Up, Seth Rogen and his pals get all excited about the Jewish people doing the ass-kicking for a change in the movie Munich. Well, I enjoyed Munich as well, but it doesn't stop there. There's been Walk on Water, an Israeli movie about the Mossad trying to kill an old Nazi, and recently Waltz with Bashir about the Israelis taking the fight to Lebanon. And now there is Defiance, the first movie I ever heard of that talks about a Jewish resistance to the Nazis. Defiance is not great, but more like a 1960s action-oriented war film. Think Von Ryan's Express, which is fine by me. I accept the art of making a downbeat Holocaust film because to raise the energy level steals from the memory of those lost and makes the Nazis' atrocities somehow exciting. And on that point, this movie gets it right. When they show the Nazis roll into a small Jewish village in the Soviet country of Belarus, it's in grainy black and white, with the victims dragged from their homes and often shot before they can be driven off to the death camps. It plays like German home movies, but I'm not sure if the footage is real or not. Either way, it's very powerful. But after the Germans leave this village, two men are seen hiding in the nearby forest. They are brothers by the name of Bilski, played by Liev Schreiber and Jamie Bale. When they go back on their small farm, their parents are found dead, but at least their young brother Aaron is still alive. He was hiding in a secret underground chamber. They gather supplies and head for the woods to live until the Germans leave. Soon the fourth and oldest brother, Tuvia, arrives, and what's left of the family can at least survive together. Liev's character, Zeus, has a wife and child hiding out in another town, and Tuvia, played by James Bond's Daniel Craig, has a wife living with her parents somewhere. Zeus is the hothead, and Tuvia is the quiet, commanding type. When Aaron stumbles across other escaping Jewish people, he brings them back to camp, and suddenly they have the start of a village growing in the woods. The woods are their best defense because they know them like the back of their hands, but the Germans would be forever lost in them. What hurts is that some of the Christians in the surrounding towns are helping the Germans find them, for fear of getting killed themselves. As word comes of more Jewish people getting killed in surrounding ghettos, the Bilskis decide to start taking the fight to the Germans and any people who side with them. They build up weapons and supplies this way, but also draw more attention to themselves. When a Russian militia sets up camp not far from the Bilski camp, they form an uneasy alliance. What distinguishes this group is that the Russians believe that Jewish people usually stay to themselves and stay out of the fighting, but the Bilskis are fighting for survival and vengeance, a mix that can be at first invigorating, but then can turn quickly toxic. I enjoyed the action scenes in this movie, and they were handled with the usual aplomb from veteran director Ed Zwick. Zwick has made a very good career out of taking touchy subjects and transforming them into high-quality Hollywood melodramas. Glory, The Siege, Last Samurai, and Blood Diamond tackle subjects like black soldiers in the Civil War, domestic terrorism, and slave-like conditions in the African diamond mines. In the grandest traditions of storytelling, you walk out of his movies feeling like you learned something new, and you're pumped up by the exciting way he told you. If he toned down the action, he might get more consideration at Oscar time, but as a moviegoer, you can't complain about his style. Unfortunately, with this movie, as the characters get bogged down in an unforgiving Russian winter, so does the movie's forward propulsion. But once the sun warms the ice off the trees, the story gets re-energized for an exciting third act. The comparisons made between Tuvia Belski and Moses are both figurative and literal in this film, and get overplayed a little bit. But since the story is true, I guess you have to allow it. As in the movie Munich, Craig's blonde hair and blue eyes surprise you when he proudly announces that he is Jewish. Even when the children in the film can't believe it. But when he rides in on his white stallion, you have no problem believing he'd be a born leader. Mazel tov from the further.